Welcome to the Winter Blackout Exercise 2020. The purpose of this exercise is to check for yourself that you have the equipment that you need to get communications done and you're prepared to get these communications done. At any moment something bad can happen and we need to communicate, and hey, we're prepped for that. The exercise this year has been no power. So we're in the middle of winter. We're supposed to be in the middle of winter. We're supposed to be doing the middle of winter, but COVID's changed that a bit. And everything must run without power, which has been, I think, a bit challenging today because the sun's not been out. It's been cloudy today. We'll see what happens. I've also had a few challenges. This laptop. The problem is I wanted to use a bigger screen on this, but the power supply for that screen has blown up twice. Not only that, my connector box has lost a connector because of it. So let me show you a little bit behind the scenes of the power supply and what happened there. We have my power box. Power box. It's got fuses for if you blow something. However, this one over here, for some reason when I pulled it out, everything came out. So the back over here, we've got solar regulators, which are obviously getting power from the solar panels on the roof, and a nice big 200 amp hour battery down there, which is almost fully charged. It's good there. It should last me to midnight, which is when my shift ends. That's a bit dim, sorry. I'm trying to conserve power here. It's been an hour and a half about in. Battery looks like it's going to last most of the night, I think all the way through, hopefully. Let's see what happens. Weird things are happening though. Yeah. I'm hearing people so loud, so awesome, but hardly anyone's responding to me. I think it's a problem of people not listening. They are trying to transmit stuff and not listening, and don't have automated stuff switched on for some weird reason. I don't know. Weird. So I've got 3 messages I'm trying to send. I've got 1 message I'm trying to send, and 2 I'm trying to one I've confirmed. What am I saying? I've done all sorts of things. But yeah, it's like this is way more difficult than I thought it would be, and it's definitely been a learning exercise. So we'll see what's happening. But Wendy's cooking dinner. Yeah, let's see that. That would be dinner. Yummy. Okay, so this is the weird scenario I'm very confused with. I'm receiving people +10, +15, +12, all sorts. They are speaking to each other. No problems. But nobody is responding to me. What the hell is going on? And I am transmitting at a decent power of about 80 watts, looks like. What's going on? Okay, so here's a weird one. I'm very confused at. So we can see the Z6YZ has acknowledged my reply. So I've got the little star there that tells me he can hear me. I'm getting him at +10. He is getting me at -20. What the hell? -20 he's getting me. That makes no sense. Why? And it's not like I'm transmitting QRP or anything. I'm so confused. Okay, so again a little bit dark, but it's basically pretty much midnight now, so end of my shift. I am going to go to bed, and then we'll see what we do in the morning. Battery sitting at 12 volts, so we're good there. It lasted, and I'm going to leave this on, so we'll see in the morning if it's still on, if my battery did last that long, but I think it will be fine because I'm switching these lights off and other things, so we should be good. I have figured out that my antenna, I think, is directional. So was it directional? It's a bit confusing because basically I'm receiving more than people are receiving me, which would at first glance indicate that they're transmitting a much higher power than me. But at second thoughts, what's happening, when I chatted to one of the other hams, I figured out that they've got a huge noise floor and I don't. So either I'm in a very not so noisy place, which is possible because I'm right next to a high school, which is lots of open space where there's no houses with people with noise and stuff, the radio noise. So it could be that. Or it could be my antenna is orientated in such a way that I'm not receiving very well, which means I don't receive the noise very well, but because I'm sensitive in other ways, maybe I'm receiving stuff, just not transmitting very well. It's very confusing. First thing in the morning, I'm going on the roof to change the antenna's orientation and see what we can do. But for now, I'm going to bed because it's morning now. Good night, good morning, whatever. It is just before 6 o'clock. Ooh. Yeah, let me do that quickly. I'll be right back. Okay, so it is 5:50. Yeah, and we are awake again. Battery's still doing okay, and yeah, best kisses are still being difficult to contact. But we're getting there. I'm glad my battery survived the night. We're still running. So hopefully the sun comes up soon and starts charging it. Just peeking through the trees there, we have our beautiful sun. Okay, let's see what's going on here. This is very strange, the problem I have. So I'm hearing people are not hearing me. So how does this work? So I'm transmitting 80 watts here. We got a 50 dBm, roughly. So it's actually about 49, but yeah, 50 dBm. That's coming out of my radio. And then I've got all these things in the way. So we got connections, cables, another connection, antenna, free space, and everything else back to the other person's receiver. And they've got a certain sensitivity. I've put here minus 100 dBm just for, argument's sake, but probably not that. So, and in between is going to be, this is all common. This whole thing here is common. Now, because this whole thing is common, if my transmit power is exactly the same as the other person's transmit power, and my receiver sensitivity is exactly the same as the other person's receiver sensitivity, I should get the same signal as they're getting from me. This is not the case, which means something is different. I need to work out what that is. Okay, well, let me just carry on with that, sorry. I'm currently looking at signal strength, first of all. So I'm looking at signal to noise ratio. So signal strength is in there, but the noise is also there. So we should also take into account the noise. So if the other person, the other side, has different noise to me, that's going to affect that. So we'll get there now. So I did an experiment with Z6 AVI. I've also done this experiment with Z6 DAB and with somebody else. But yeah, let's just look at the one that I just did now with Z6 AVI. So we both have the same transmit power. With Z6 AVI, we both have 80 watts. This is as reported on my SWR. So my meter. So we both have 80 watts, so there's no difference there. Receiver sensitivity, we can't really check too much, but I'm guessing we've got a similar receiver sensitivity. Most of the radios will have that. Everything else is remaining constant. So the only thing we've got is the signal to noise ratio, so the noise. What is the noise? So let's look at this. He received me at -8. Okay, I get him at +5. Okay, the difference between those two is 13. Okay, so which means that our noise floors, if our noise floors are different by 13 dBm, that would make sense. What are noise floors? So my S meter, which is not very accurate, I might add, says S0 or a 1. It fluctuates a bit. His one is saying S5. roughly. Okay, so the difference between these two, well, let's just go with S5. Okay, now each S point is about 3 dBs. And if you've done the math already, that works out to 3 times 5, which is equal to 15 dBs. Look at that. This shouldn't be, that's the difference. So it shouldn't say M. Which is very similar. Okay, so from what I can gather, I have no noise where I am. Distinct possibility, because I have a huge school next to me that doesn't produce much noise, as opposed to neighbors who would. What bugs me about this whole thing is does everyone have such a bad noise? The noises floors that from the people I spoke to last night ranged now from S5 to S8, S9 noise floors, and mine's sitting at 0. Yeah. What can I say? We're supposed to have 2 stations, so one VHF station which sits with internet, and one HF station out in the field. Now my team does not have that. We've just got one station, so I'm doing both in one place. So I'll show you that quickly. So the VHF station is represented by this PC over here, which is very wide, so you can't see too much, but I'll show you just now what's on there. And what happens is we get messages. So let me just show you that. So we get messages. So that's a message now that I just got. Well, we've had these for a while. That one since 1 this morning, and that one since just after 12 yesterday. We need to send this message, nice long complicated message, to those teams. And then when they get that message, they put it into the computer over here. So they will say from us, and they'll put the reference number, which is there. We give them obviously in the message, and they click post. And if it matches, if it's correct, then this will disappear off my computer. And we get them regularly. We get these little messages that we have to send through. Now, so this is the VHF station, as I said. So the VHF station is supposed to speak by VHF to the HF station, which I've represented here by this computer, which we've been playing with. Then that one relays the messages across. So we're doing a bit more relays, but we just got a relay missing here. On 80 meters right now, but it is busy dying, so we'll play a bit more. However, because the sun's coming up, what is cool is that the battery down here is, oh, you can't see that. You'll have to believe me. Battery's charging up. Very cool. Okay, on a whim, I decided to take out this Nano VNA and take out the antenna. How well you can read that. We have an SWR of 17:1 connected to my antenna. I mean, I've been receiving from ZS1 stations and all sorts. It goes to show the power of this JS8 or JT, what is it? JT8 mode. But yeah, so I'm receiving ZS6 AVI plus 3. I'm receiving ZS6 AVI plus 6 with this antenna on. And with the antenna off, I was getting him at -3. Really? Okay, I think the balins might be a bit buggered. Okay, so I've been on the roof, taken the old balun off. Try to put this homemade balun, which I bought at a flea market a while ago, up. And when I came to plugging the antenna in, I realized it's not the right connection. There's something wrong here. So that didn't work. So I stuck another one up called the window basher. I'm not too sure if it's got 50 ohm resistor in, but it's good SWR across the whole bands, all the HF bands.
Sorry about that. I lost weight 5, but I think it was a bit quick.
Okay, now I've got a noise floor. Let's see what I can do. Okay, the exercise is over. So the purpose of this exercise, as I said in the beginning, was to check how prepared you are. And I thought I was prepared. I think I was maybe had a false sense of preparedness in this whole thing. So it showed me that I wasn't prepared properly, because the main problem was my antenna was not working properly, even though it was receiving from Cape Town. Actually, it was receiving from further than Cape Town. I had a Australia one on Friday. So, yeah, I think my backup antenna didn't work as well as I thought it would. I've got a backup on it right now, but I didn't test it properly before, so I can't transmit full power with it because it comes back into the shack, and I have RF everywhere messing with things. So, yeah, I think, yeah, very big thank you to ZS6AVI, who was, I can't really say the other part of this team. He was the team, really, because I hardly did anything. He did everything. The only proper contacts I made for the exercise were using his station as a relay. So, yeah, what can I say? It was a very interesting 24 hours, and a few things that I want to change going forward. I need to have a backup HF antenna, so 2 antennas, one that I've tested working and a second one that I can stick up at a moment's notice. I think I should also have a spare 2-meter antenna. I think that'd be good, because having one with a permanent contact and then a second one where you're playing around or trying to find contacts might be good. Yeah, I think nice to haves as well. I'm going to make a plan and get a permanent JS8 call station up. So that was the winter exercise. I hope you enjoyed this video. Any suggestions or comments about what's happened, I'll be happy. Put them down in the comments. And I'm still a bit confused as to how I could hear people, but people couldn't hear me properly. It kind of makes sense, but it doesn't make sense 100%. So either put comments down below, or next time you see me, hey, say, hey, idiot, this is how it works. Because I'd really love to know what's going on here. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheers.